Now, welcome back, everyone, to another episode, Spring into Football. It's been a while since we last recorded. We got three of the four original members here of our crew. Roth, who we have not seen in a long while, but we're happy he's back. Diego, of course, as always. And then a feature today, a little bit of a different feature, though, not a UFL page, not some sort of player or coach. We have a great friend of ours in the Jake Bates Unction newly named group chat, Robert Wendland, or as we like to call Robbington, Robert, whatever you may call him. So we just wanted to bring Robert on. He was one of the first that kind of joined the call when we had a big group chat call last week about after the news broke, and we were all in shock, and we were just kind of analyzing what could happen from here on forward. So, Rob, welcome in. We're excited to have you. So this episode won't be long. We'll cover a couple things. Obviously, let's start off with kind of the reason why we kind of decided to take the air here. So obviously there are more reasons than just this one, but I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here. So in case you didn't hear, in case you missed it, we are expected to see we will be seeing some major changes in the UFL. There has been speculation as if it's been confirmed or not. Some teams probably more confirmed than others. I would say Birmingham is probably a little bit more in the clear because they've had events circling up to this rumor, and so they've had people come out and say stuff. They're a little bit more covered than the other teams, and more media has been put out on them. So they've shot it down. They've said that possibly it could happen, but major changes are coming to UFL. So we have new markets being relocated, and there's plenty more changes to come. And the team, so the markets, not on this post, but we have the Renegades likely being rebranded, and then all these teams. So you can see the markets here: Boise, Columbus, Florida, and then Kentucky. So what I'm gonna do here is we're gonna pass the call to one person about any one of these markets. So there's four of us, so each person will get one. So if you choose the Kentucky one, just kind of give your reasons why, or give a letter grade and give your reasons why it might be successful or might not be successful. So and then those will apply to the other markets as well. So whoever wants to start off, I know we've got a good amount just to talk about this before we get into the other stuff, but whoever wants to start it off, feel free.
I do want to start off on one thing. I know that we were talking about. I know that there are a lot of Birmingham Stallions fans that are very upset, and they're getting very mad that their team's leaving. They've been with them for the past 3 years. Attendance has dipped, and it's kind of been a pretty big issue in Birmingham. But I was hearing a lot about how there's all the Save the Stallions, Birmingham Stallions this, Birmingham Stallions that. How could you betray us? I hate the UFO, blah, blah, blah. So I did some digging. I was really doing some digging. I was kind of like, okay, something doesn't really make, a ton of sense. It's claimed that they're the top stream team or the most watched team in the UFL, but when they average third in TV attendance. Right behind the San Antonio Brahmas and right behind the Battlehawks is the Birmingham Stallions. Also, another take with the Stallions, their attendance has also been an issue, averaging 8,000 fans a game compared to a 4,000 drop from the past couple of years. And considering this team would not be able to function on its own, this team would not be able to live off its own. So I did some digging, and I was like, okay, well, they're the little brother in the Indoor Football League.
Yeah.
The Tulsa Oilers, they have 12,000 in attendance consistently. They are racking in the same amount of fans as the Birmingham Stallions in attendance. TV ratings are not the same. But the thing is, the Tulsa Oilers can live and function on their own and the Birmingham Stallions can't. The reason why they relocate them is because Birmingham isn't making any money. It's losing the UFL money. That is why they're gonna relocate them. This is a business move. The fact is, like, I'm mostly Birmingham Stallions supporter. I'm Birmingham Stallions fans, but I'm saying this because that's why they're gonna relocate them. Also, same with the Michigan Panthers. They're losing so much money off of them. Is why it makes sense to relocate them. And like we know, Memphis and Houston, like it's already been an issue. But the league can't function and make money, and these teams can't even function on their own. They need the support of the league to even run. So that's the only reason why it makes sense, or why this discussion's for them to move. All I'm gonna say.
Yeah, no, you know what? I mean, I know it could be harsh, for fans to listen in on that, but I think you
It's the
hit it.
truth.
No, no,
It's
no,
the,
yeah, no, of course, yeah. I mean, that's we read some rumors. We saw the Panthers were paying upwards of 5,000, or no, 50, no, was
500.
it 500,000?
They lost $1 million. The Panthers lost over $1 million on the stadium alone this year.
I mean, that's very problematic, especially one of the better attendance teams. They get so much just from people coming in the door, and then they lose it. They lose a lot of that because of stadium fees, and so and it's not even that's why, like, when we talk about player salary, like, it's the last thing that comes to our mind, because you know teams can afford it, and we're usually thinking of stadium, and we're usually thinking of advertising. That stuff's gonna rack up a lot faster than players are. Because
Mm-hmm.
player stuff can be worked out a lot easier. Players have been in the NFL before, so sometimes UFL players can take a pay cut. They're not going to be paid the same amount as everyone, depending on kind of what if you're a younger player, you could be paid a little bit less. Depending on your playing experience and kind of how long you've been hanging around these leagues. But some of the younger players, might just have it tougher, but it's a good way to get their name out there, and they've got a longer runway to kind of get back to the pros. But yeah, Ralph, I think you said it great. So, did you wanna add on anything with the city?
The
Um,
city. The thing is, I'm pretty sure they're gonna relocate somewhere close to Birmingham
okay,
because it makes sense.
yeah,
But if it does happen, like, I'm only saying that if it does, because it's just not making any money, and the team can't live on its own. Like San Antonio can, the Brahmas will kind of. The
yeah,
Battlehawks, we know they can.
yeah,
A couple other teams, I mean, like DC definitely can, but Birmingham just isn't making any money. That's the reason why they're gonna do it.
yeah. Would you do you want to talk about the Kentucky market now, or what do you want to
Kentucky
do?
market? No, not the no. We'll say that for like
Okay.
after we talk about all the
So
teams
okay,
relocating.
I just thought because you were talking about it, but do you wanna? So I wanna let you guys kind of give your thoughts, kind of like Roth did. I probably should have just started off like that and said that, but I kind of just talked about the markets. But go ahead, feel free to voice your opinion.
I'll take the role here. I think, as you said, I think Rolf had a great lead in onto this topic,
Yeah.
and I could really express my opinion right now, but I think that could be staged. I think we should just get into the city discussion.
Okay.
I'm gonna start with the worst in my opinion, and I'm gonna have to go with Orlando. I For a letter grade, I would honestly have to give them an honest D. Like, don't get me wrong, they have potential for spring football,
Yeah.
but compared to all these other markets, I just don't think that they like. I don't know. It's a very mixed bag as I'm seeing with all these other cities, but I think Orlando just doesn't attract enough. And I mean, I think that Florida for the longest time now has deserved a spring football team, but I'm thinking along the lines like somewhere like um Tampa Bay or even Jacksonville deserves a spring football team even more.
Yeah.
And
I
I,
mean,
I wouldn't I wouldn't be a
all right.
fan of Camping World Stadium either, which is the likelihood stadium of where they would go.
Mhm.
Mhm. I
Um,
mean, I was gonna say.
but
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead,
Never
Diego.
mind. Never mind. I'll save it for like 2 minutes.
okay,
Go ahead.
but yeah, no, I would not be a fan of Orlando.
Yeah, and I was gonna say what they could do is they could rebrand the Memphis Showboats back to the Tampa Bay Bandits.
True,
Like
true.
it would not be a bad idea.
Robert, what do you think
Isn't
about that?
that Bandits account that they had on Instagram? They like reactivated it
Oh
just the other
yeah,
day
I
and
remember
re-changed the
that.
username.
Yeah, it was like it was
It was
like
still
the
the USFL undername from the first year
yeah
before they abandoned the account, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, and
you're right.
so I'm just saying like that makes the most sense for because when they said Florida, they said possibly Orlando, but reminder like Raymond James Stadium could easily pack 20,000 fans. Like they've done that before, so I think that they could possibly bring the Bandits back, put them in Tampa Bay, or if not, like Jacksonville might need a market too.
You
Or
know what? I mean, I think both those cities have great potential because Orlando's got a lot of other stuff going. I mean, the Magic have the Orlando Magic have started getting better, and obviously that's conflicting.
Something I should mention too with the potential of Jacksonville is that they're planning to renovate their current stadium that the
Yeah.
Jaguars use, so that has potential in itself. And the Jacksonville Bulls played in the OG USFL, so we can bring in some OG fans as well. So it's
What do you guys
it's a
think
very
about that?
interesting thing to touch up on since there's so many cities in Florida you could pick.
What do you think about that, Rob?
my biggest question is, are they gonna still do expansion teams or no? Because like it's still a discussion to have an expansion team.
Yeah.
So like, you
I
should
mean,
just hear me out. Because they've like I know inside the UFL they've talked about in-state rivalries,
yeah.
and straight across the road, Jacksonville and Tampa Bay, that would not be a bad idea.
Well, I mean, I don't think right now. I mean, maybe in the near future. I hope, but
bro, those rivalry games will go crazy though, bro. I'd be like 20,000
hey,
fans.
Robert used to be a
Hey,
fan.
y'all remember the Key West Derby in the 2022 USFL? That was hype.
Robert was a big fan of those games, bro. Bart Starr versus Kirby Wilson.
I mean, Bart Adris, not Star,
Bart Starr's a famous quarterback.
for the Packers. Yeah.
Yeah. Look, I got my football terms mixed up. All right.
Buddy, we know you a Titans fan. You have no idea what you're talking about half the time, man.
Bro, what?
See, not gonna lie, OG. Okay, we're getting off topic, but OG Titans fans, man, those are
Yeah, we need more of those, don't we?
it's you're like Chargers fans, bro. Chargers, they're like 30 in the world.
Bro. All right. A little off topic, but I'm gonna go ahead and kind of take this next market here. I'm gonna take the Kentucky market. So we don't know like which teams are going where, but Ralph brought up a good point about just bringing back the Tampa Bay Bandits and the Showboats kind of going under and just flipping them to become the Bandits. But I think
they did the first time.
Yeah, I think so. I picked this market because I brought it up in the pregame here before we got on the air that AJ Smith, former XFL coach for the Brahmas, he mentioned that Louisville could potentially be a really strong market, and that they could pack out and 15,000 in the stadium. It's just with those. I mean, you worry, not being, the biggest city and not having the biggest draw, that they don't get that many fans every week, and it's just one of those teams like it doesn't have the name that some Orlando might have or Columbus might have, but nonetheless, I'd probably give it like a C. It could be better. The Louisville Lexington market, both are college towns, kind of, not that much, but there's colleges in both. There's University of Kentucky and also University of Louisville. So it could potentially be a big draw for students and all those stuff. We talked about the Panthers going up to Ann Arbor to kind of get a University of Michigan draw. Potentially not the best idea, but I'm just saying in terms of what can we make out of smaller universities as potential fan bases.
I would say that was actually my idea, so it's not a good
That was
idea.
your idea?
It was my idea, yeah.
All right. Well, I think not a lot of people liked it, but
Not at all.
It's not a good idea, but I was just saying to keep them in Michigan. That'd be probably the best idea.
Yeah. I think you're right about that. I think they should do that, but yeah. So Kentucky, I'd probably give that overall market a C. It's definitely interesting. Robert doesn't seem to agree here. He's been
I,
wincing.
I don't see it. I think you look at all the factors geographically, a moderately strong region. You're putting too much emphasis on the college towns.
Yeah, yeah,
Firstly, you have adaptability of location. You can play at the University of Louisville at their football stadium. You can play at Louisville City. You look at attendance for both those locations, and all those usually have pretty packed out attendance. Louisville City in the USL Championship has the best attendance league wide. I think they average around 18.5K per game. And mind you, that's down under last year where it was averaging around 20K. They attend really well for soccer out there.
yeah,
Over like a 35K stadium, a nice standing rotunda on the right side, according to where the camera is.
yeah.
I think it's a really good decision. They yearn for spring sports
Well,
in
so
the
you think it's
region.
better? I thought you thought it was worse.
I think Lexington's the worst one here because Lexington doesn't really attend well, and you're kind of.
Yeah,
I think at least Louisville, you kind of more passionate for more independent sports. You look at how TBT and how that was like modestly well attended.
yeah,
Not
yeah,
great, but at least
yeah, yeah,
solid numbers for the TBT.
yeah,
And then you're comparing them to say Lexington. You don't really get much activity in Lexington. They're only big over there because of the more so brand association
yeah,
with Kentucky basketball. They really only get attendance that way, and they only get it because of the horse racing. You don't see them
yeah.
like Lexington SC has to do stupid promos to get people in the stands and to push over 8K. So I really like Louisville. I think you're just kind of overselling the emphasis of the college towns and saying that
Yeah.
because it's not an A or even B grade town, and you're talking about C grade towns, you can diminish the community behind it that can
Yeah,
really
yeah,
be built up locally. And I can tumble us into Columbus if you want, and
yeah.
but I'll let you segue whatever.
I
Well, because
will.
I know, I mean, kind of like Diego and I, we always talk about like Birmingham. Well, he talks about it with everyone, but they don't have like the community has kind of pushed back in the last couple of years. They just haven't been like, yeah, Birmingham's a great city, but like the people like really have to make the fan base, and they haven't these last couple of years.
Mhm.
It's been a lot of travelers. It's been a lot of like opposing team. It's been a lot of younger kids. Like we need like the senior community to kind of show out, and they haven't. So I totally agree with you. Like the college towns are not like it shouldn't be the emphasis. It should be the whole. It should be the whole community. You're right. So I
I was,
appreciate that. Yeah.
I was actually gonna say another market that I don't know why they're not even like looking towards
Yeah.
is Richmond, Virginia, because Richmond, Virginia is one of the strongest TV ratings for like non NFL markets or non professional football markets
Yeah.
out there right now. They're ranked top 56 in the United States cities who rather would have an NFL team or not,
Mm-hmm.
or that'd be inside the state. So I'm probably gonna say that would probably be a great market. But also the other thing is it's like I don't I don't I don't see a Louisville market, to be honest. I don't think the attendance is gonna get stronger or you're gonna make more money. I think you're just gonna bring more eyes to the UFL
Yeah.
relocating.
Yeah, that's fair. So okay, but we have two more markets here to kind of analyze. Robert and Roth. I think Roth wanted Boise, and then
Mhm.
Robert wanted Columbus, or didn't want it, but he got stuck with it. So
I can roll with Columbus. I think the big ties again, the college towns. I think you're really trying to. I remember in discussions you're really trying to saying you got to get them draw for late spring because they're not really showing for lacrosse. Their basketball is dead at that point. Their baseball team hasn't been relevant in what a decade plus.
yeah,
You're not going to get the horseshoe for that. So realistically, you're kind of tying yourselves in terms of market, what you can draw out for audience. When you look at Columbus Crew and Columbus Blue Jackets, relatively small town in Ohio, probably fourth, fifth biggest, debatably, and moderately strong attendance for both them. You can see the strong passion in Columbus Crew saving them from moving to fucking Austin because that's stupid. Am I allowed to curse? I'm sorry.
oh, you're
Say
good.
But
You're
whatever
good.
you
You're good.
want. Say
Just
whatever
just
you
try to
want.
just try to limit it. You're good. You're good.
Say whatever you
very,
want, bro.
but
You're good. You're good.
but you can draw on that Southern Ohio mark. You can draw in Southern Ohio, and it's a little bit. You can try to make the geographical thing with Louisville work,
Yeah.
and I think you can build the passion just because of general football fans. But again, you're trying to tell that Ohio State one of the biggest football brands on the earth, and you're telling me that you're going to try to bring a local audience for a global brand. You have people flying hours to get the games randomly on a Saturday. I like Columbus. I don't think it's a fantastic option. I think you can go to better options with more stronger local stuff like Wichita, Oakland, other places where it's been proven, but at least or at least proven in a more traditional football sense. But I think in terms of just trying to spread it more to the Great Lakes without just going to the bread and butter and going back to Canton, I think it's an honestly pretty fine decision. Overall, if they can get Columbus to share the stadium during the year, which again, that's kind of worked out well with DC in terms of just not like it's worked out attendance wise, but again, if you look at it from DC about field preparation and how what they got almost rained out once this year and played in basically a monsoon. I'm not sure how the share is going to go with that, but I have to give Columbus like a B. Okay. It really intrigues me. It has a strong potential to be a strong football market if they can translate the Columbus Crew and the Blue Jackets' strong local fan bases and translate that into football simulation average, probably like 12 to 15K, which is about what you were getting from the Alamo Dome most of last year. Yeah. But it doesn't. But again, it's another one of these unproven things that we're ultimately looking at and saying, when the hell is it going to break through? Is it going to be huge in the TV markets? We don't have really. No one's really looking at it as a huge expansion. And the real only big kicker it had before them in expansion talks was when Kelsey bought a arena football team 3 months ago that people thought was a red herring for something.
No, they lost. They're not in the playoffs, believe it or not. But the Goats missed out on the playoffs.
But nonetheless, red herring, overall market, I think it's fine, but we'll just have to wait and see. B.
You know, it's actually funny. I'm looking at the numbers. You know, for TV attendance in the UFL, guess which market outside of the UFL or outside of like a UFL state is the highest in attendance?
Louisiana?
It is Louisiana. Yeah, New Orleans, Louisiana. New Orleans is the highest rated UFL market that doesn't have a team inside the state. And right behind them is Madison, Wisconsin as well. So that means it's like, I don't know. I didn't make an attempt with the Breakers. I really don't know because not even the Breakers had a very strong online fan base inside Louisiana. So I don't know why they didn't try the Breakers. That's the one that really doesn't really sit well with me.
You know, what about? Hear me out. What about Boise Breakers?
The Boise Breakers. See,
you've
been on Twitter way too much. You've been on Twitter way too much. Or way too much.
That was an idea straight from the heart. I didn't see that anywhere.
Yeah, I saw that on X. So I was kind of like, bro, you've been on X way too long.
Bro, I haven't, bro.
At least you didn't say the Boise Stallions.
That would be hilarious. That would be hilarious.
I'm not going to piss you off. Don't worry.
Did I stop watching?
Here's what they should do, though. So for every market that relocates, they need to rebrand. They just can't relocate and keep the same. They need to rebrand. It may make the most sense because,
I agree with you on that point because hear me out from a former New York Guardians fan. I hated the Orlando rebrand so much. The name did not work at all. The colors were ugly. And honestly, was it even worth it? Because my Vegas Vipers ended up just folding the following year.
See, the thing is, the Vipers, they were supposed to relocate to another market. That was Portland, Oregon. That was their targeted market was Portland.
Either that or Arizona, I think.
It was Arizona or Portland. Oh, they want to go like was it? No, they want to go Phoenix. They want to go straight directly to Phoenix, and play in Phoenix. Mm-hmm. And it was out of Portland, Oregon, and instead they decided to fold. But hear me out. They should put the Vipers into in Boise. Put the Boise Vipers. Just do it.
Boise Vipers. That's
just do it. Oh. That wouldn't be bad because not even that. Make the team blue. You play on the blue field.
Yeah.
And it'd make the most sense because look, we're getting to the final market, the Boise market, Boise, Idaho. I was doing some digging. I was like, okay, well they've had arena teams, okay. The arena teams would average 4,000 in attendance back from 2009 to 2011, when their other team, the Idaho Horsemen, when they came to the expansion to the market back 2019, they would consist from 2,000 to 4,000 fans a game. In the type of league that they play in, that's good. That's a good market. Now the thing is that's a niche. That's niche football. Imagine to the outspreads of everybody, to the outspreads of 80,000 people hear about it. 20,000 are going to show up because they don't have anything to do in Boise. Nobody has anything to do. A good 20.
Okay.
They could rack in a good 20K their first couple games and then dip from then on. But it'd be a strong point. That's why I feel like they're targeting a Boise market.
So what grade would you give it?
A C plus.
C plus. Okay.
Because it wouldn't last that long.
You're right. Okay.
It wouldn't last that long, but it sounds good short term. It's a good short term. 1 year we move them there, bring more publicity to the UFL, and then everybody gets mad when we abandon them again.
Well, I think it's okay that it's a West Coast, kind of a Western team because, like you said, they can always go to Oakland or
Oakland would not make
Portland.
any sense.
No, I know Oakland would be good, but I'm just saying, or Portland or Phoenix.
Portland. See, the thing is, Portland's already been talked about. Portland is a good 3,000 fans a game, and that's just the honest truth. That's why they're not putting a team in Portland. That's a good 3,000 fans a game.
Where would they play?
They play where the Timbers play.
Yeah, Robert.
I don't know the stadium.
You know that team?
I don't know.
Uplands Park ain't bad. Come on now.
Portland would be but I mean, they could bring back the Portland Breakers though. That's what might bring some nostalgia to some people.
All right, so okay. After all that, so okay, we just assessed all of our grades. So, personally, I think some of the markets are interesting. I think we all like some of them, but others are a little bit more hard to kind of crack the code of. It's kind of weird for some of them. Like Lexington, possibly, like Robert was saying, could have a weak response. Columbus, somewhat, it's not like the worst. And then Boise, Roth kind of touched up that good short-term option, but after a couple of years, where do you go from there? And then, Diego said about Orlando, it's like you have other cities in Florida that can really, potentially, make you a lot more money and give you generate more publicity, but Orlando is a little bit tougher just because of other events and things they got going on. So yeah, I totally I agree with all that. All those opinions that you guys had. I think it was great to kind of see the meeting of the minds. But so we can go ahead, move on to the next. I'm gonna leave the screen up here. So kind of since the last time we recorded, we've seen a lot of signings and coaching changes. So for this part, we can just we can all just state a transaction that has occurred in the last couple months. So kind of how we did with the city. So kind of just pick any transaction you want from any team, any coach, anything you want. I'm gonna go ahead and start because it was fresh in my mind a couple minutes ago. But Shannon Harris officially removing the head coach or the interim coaching tag. And he will be the head coach of the DC Defenders, which, bro, Rob,
I knew. I'm just kidding, bro.
Okay. So, yeah, Shannon Harris, officially the head coach of the DC Defenders. I think it's a great move. I don't think any of us are going to argue that. If you are, feel free. But I think great coach. I think, in some ways, you could argue it if you really want to, but overall I think that's a great move. We talked about it all throughout the season that we believe he should have he'll be there next year. So Shannon Harris, congratulations. What do you guys do you guys have anything? Robert?
I still think it's a good signing, but I think we're kind of overvaluing the rubbish of the staff that was left behind that kind of made it work.
Yeah.
The offensive coordinator's name, I forget his name.
Fred Kais.
What?
Fred? Oh, the old one?
Yeah, the O-Cord.
Fred Kais?
Yeah, Fred Kais. Yeah.
But isn't Kais Kais, if I'm not mistaken, is a non-guarantee to return next year? There's still no word on if I'm not mistaken.
No word. Yeah.
I think the squad retention's kind of you need to retain the staff to really continue that role, and also you think that Shannon Harris also is co-doing roles with this,
Yeah,
along
yeah.
with Silky, offensive coordinator at Tennessee State.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not sure how much time is going to be split. The main job is going to be Tennessee State football.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if he's going to give much attention in the offseason outside of a quick blurb here or there. So it's kind of an interesting idea to see whether or not how much attention he gives, and whether that will be kind of putting it on the back burner until, say, February, late January, early February, where he's putting full attention into it, with just minor splits into spring practice. It just doesn't feel like a guarantee home run, just because too much. It may be just too much to really split among the years to really do that role. So ultimately, I like it, but I don't love it, because I think we're kind of just assuming everything's going to go right and everything's going to be peaches and cream forever and ever. But I think there's just too many. There's a few more variables we have to consider before just considering this home run and repeating the Stallions dynasty.
Well,
Yeah.
I think you bring up a great point, because the defenders did know, were informed of his Tennessee State job, prior to them hiring him. So I think the split time is definitely going to be an issue for his commitment, but at the same time, I was kind of just assessing what he contributed to the team last year from a coaching standpoint, and obviously, the staff was great and the players were great, and we've seen, potentially, I don't know what their retention is going to be, but I could potentially see a different season for them going next year, and potentially not champions, and a couple more losses in the regular season, and so on, and so forth. So that's
Yeah.
my opinion. Okay, so what do you guys have? Anything else?
I was gonna talk. I feel like nobody's talked about it, but Holland Eller is retired. Did anybody see that?
Yeah. Wait, I saw that. Yeah. You guys saw that too.
Yeah, Holland Eller is retired.
Okay, what do you have on that?
Nothing. He just wasn't that great, to be honest. I'm just saying.
Wow.
I'm just saying. He wasn't really that. To be honest, he wasn't really that
Okay,
good.
so
He was
do you
just
have
sitting there.
do you have another transaction the last 3-4 months?
Yeah, Jalen McClendon already re-signed in Houston, just like that.
Oh yeah.
Just like that. And they brought him back just like that, meaning work's not finished. Not in the Houston market though, but work is not done.
Yeah.
Which that means that CJ Henderson is Curtis Johnson is returning.
Yeah.
Tough day for the Roughnecks fans.
Yeah. All right, so okay, that's all Ralph had. Diego, Robert, any notable things you want to bring up?
I could touch up on one. This one just happened very recently, about a day ago. But it was announced that Michigan Panthers running back Toa will be heading to the Browns.
Yeah.
I think it's a terrific signing for Cleveland, because he's gonna bring that explosive firepower that they could really use, and he gets to back up Nick Chubb a bit, which he's already one of the best running backs in the NFL. He could learn a lot, but I mean, I'm not trying to hate on Cleveland or anything, but I could see Toa getting a lot of snaps if he so happens to make it through training camp and make the roster and all that.
So
maybe start on the practice squad and get a couple call-ups. But no, I think that this was a great signing. It's nice to see such a prominent name get signed.
No. So as you know, I think he'll be running back. I don't know. Robert might have to help me on this, but
he's competing for running back 3 right now, because he's looking like Jerome Ford, Dylan Sampson.
Yeah.
And because Judkins is dealing with the legal issues right now, he hasn't signed his contract.
Yeah.
So he's competing. If you assume Pierre Strong has the inward bound,
Pierre Strong is not gonna last in Cleveland. He's not taking
special
snaps.
teams.
He's going to stay as a backup, at least in the short term.
Pierre Strong is not. No. I've been hearing reports that Pierre Strong might not actually even make it till preseason, but I don't even know. I heard Bill Sampson and Troy Hairston.
I saw that.
Amani Marshall. That was the guy. and Dylan Sampson. Those are the two guys that will be competing for the RB2 spot.
I think Samson more. I mean, you always like to keep those draft picks. He's what? He was a day 2, so
Fourth round, yeah.
Yeah, I
No,
think
three. Was
Day
he round
3?
4? Right?
Round 4, yeah. I
Round 4
literally
is
just
day
looked
3,
at it.
yeah.
I literally just looked at it.
Well, no, I mean, but still, I mean, round 4 is still pretty significant. I don't think,
Mhm.
I don't know.
Yeah, but Pierce Strong, I mean, like, we're getting a little off topic here with the NFL, but Pierce Strong is most likely going to get cut and will actually find his way into the UFL, to be honest.
It's your showboat, baby.
Pierce Strong. Hey, bro, he's taking the.
Bro.
He's
Don't,
taking.
I'm not seeing him on the show host, bro.
Pierce Strong is actually he's dog trash. He's dog water, to be honest. I remember that
He's
game
good.
against.
Isn't he good on special teams? Am I just?
There was that
better
one.
than West Hill. He's better than West Hill immediately. I would take him over West Hill. West Hill was inconsistent as
West
shit.
Hills was good on Michigan, bro.
No, well, in Memphis though.
No.
West Hill played with the
Inconsistent.
Breakers, bro. West Hill played with the
Oh,
Breakers.
yeah, he was good with both.
Bro, West Hill was so good with the Breakers. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Okay. A little off topic there. Rob, did you have anything to?
Yeah. This was reported about 2 weeks ago, but the signing just got finished at the beginning of the week. Dresser Wynn officially signed with the Rams.
Yeah.
On a short-term deal. It's lovely to see the most consistent QB from last year among the shit in the shit. So it's there. If you look at it, it's a very fringe QB race there. Stetson Bennett's been missing in action for 2 years now. He's just a nomad, nowhere in the middle of nowhere, probably in northwest Montana, smoking some crack right now. And you realistically think he's going to be competing he has a realistic in shot towards QB3. Stafford's is very good, but he's been load managed because of injury woes for several years now.
Yeah.
Jimmy G is Jimmy G, but he's also has injury woes of his own. Realistically, the cards may align right for Dresser Wynn to just stumble into. It'd be nothing more than maybe some week 18 action, maybe a random start like John Walford did in 2021.
Yeah.
That
was a good pull.
He was actually put up 200 yards in a win to get them in the playoffs. So what Wolford did was incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Carson Wentz last year.
I can see a Wolford-esque route for Dresser Wynn. And it's very funny because at the beginning of the year, no Showboats fan realistically thought he was going to get much time as a starter. He was just going to be a stash guy, occasionally backup. It was mainly Perry and Williams.
I was going
to rotate the whole time.
Well, Roth was a Dresser Wynn fan, actually.
I think all of the pieces align because take us back to the first few weeks of the UFL. ESPN covered the hell out of Dresser Wynn, so I think they knew behind the scenes that he was going to be something monumental.
It was probably the fact because the only one available for the in-game interviews at that point. Who are you going to ask the in-game interviews when they only go to one flipping guy that isn't Samuel Acho breathing out your neck?
In that DC game, when they go to EJ Perry on the sideline, he's like, "What are you trying to do?" He's like, "Just get the ball and score." And he's, "How are you going to do it?" And he's like, "I'm going to figure it out." Bro, honestly, he looks so pissed, okay? And the thing is, it's the other thing, of course he's going to see time. You know who's ahead of him? Troy Williams and EJ Perry, okay? Troy Williams, he's out of his prime, and EJ Perry's never been in his prime. His prime was 2 weeks, okay?
Yeah.
That was back in 2022. So it's kind of of course the cards will all align.
No.
It makes sense. It's EJ Perry and Troy Williams, you know?
Yeah. I mean, you know what? I think...
And, I was actually also going to say that Dresser Wynn has a layup in the quarterback room as well because we can compare this to 2023 for Alex Magoo.
Yeah.
So where he didn't have to do anything to compete. He just got the QB3 spot, get activated, reactivated. And then Ben DiNucci, where he had to beat Jarrett Garantano back in 2023 as well for the quarterback 3 spot in Denver. So it was just the layup. It was just it's going to be just like that.
To add on, Dresser Wynn has been with the Rams before, so to kind of increase his chances, they know him. McVay knows him well, I'd imagine. So
you know who else has been on the Rams as a quarterback? Bryce Perkins.
Oh yeah.
How's he not signed?
Yeah, how's he not signed, guys?
Yeah, I think he had to work out with the Jets at some point, and it didn't work out. I heard something about that.
Martinez got flashbacks.
I think
AJ Martinez. Adrian Martinez might actually be on the active roster come week 1. There's
Yeah.
possibilities that he's on the active roster week 1.
Isn't it like a guarantee? Because is it Travis medically retired? They really don't have a QB.
Brady Cook, and Tyrod Taylor. So he's got to compete with Brady Cook this year. And
Cook's gonna be
there's,
practice squad stash this year.
I mean, he'll be a stash, and like Martinez has a layup.
I'm surprised Tyrod Taylor hasn't even retired yet, given
he's 35.
He's not bad. He's not bad.
Right, Tyrod is like, oh my goodness. I watched back when he was with the Giants 2 years ago when Daniel Jones and Tommy DeVito were both hurt, and they had to rely on Tyrod. But Tyrod was like slinging the ball around. He put up like 35 points against the Rams 1 week.
Also that Texans action he had not too long ago.
The Texans.
I think that was the year Deshaun was kind of like holding out. That's right.
Not holding out where he was sexually accused. Not holding out.
No, it was also, wasn't it also contract related? No, like, was it not?
No, so Deshaun Watson, I mean, he was already paid. He wanted to leave because he didn't like the coaching changes that.
Oh yeah, okay. So it was still like, besides his his off the field issues, there were still some.
Yeah, he didn't like the coaching changes there. He said it was not a black movement or something like that.
I think it was with David Culley. That was his name.
But that was literally that one made no sense. David Culley. That one I don't get it. And then they fired him. And then they hired Lovie Smith, and then they won like 2 games that whole year.
And then the Bears drafted Caleb Williams because the Texans won that game.
Yeah.
Hey, don't hate on
exactly,
bro. I was waiting for
it. They got Caleb Williams because the Panthers traded a whole haul for Caleb Williams.
No, because the Texans won that game against the Colts and then knocked them out of the number 1 overall spot.
And then everybody, the Bears got it, and everybody like the Bears they didn't need the first overall pick. They didn't know who they were going to take, so they just traded it to the Panthers.
Yeah.
And the rest is history.
Yeah. Okay, so this is what I got. So we've kind of talked transactions, things around the league, and
something that I want to bring up really quick is that that one Ballox fan who it was Puka Nakua's brother, Samson Nakua, the slapping the fan. That Ballox fan filed a lawsuit, which it's a 90% chance he ends up losing that. I mean, come on now.
There.
Actually, I'm curious what he said to Nakua. Because he definitely said something.
Well, I think what he said, but it doesn't warrant. I mean,
no, I'm just curious what he said.
Because
he definitely said something to where like Nicole was like, "I'm gonna slap the hell out of you."
Well,
I
don't know because it did seem like joking. Like he didn't seem like he was like smiling when he did it. Like
he's Samoan, bro. Samoans always smile, bro. I'm just saying.
Fair enough.
I'm just saying.
But yeah, I'm trying to think. What else? Didn't Samson Nakua? He still.
Have you ever played with Samson Nakua in Madden? He's kind of good. He's pretty decent. Not gonna lie.
Okay.
In Madden, I won. Wait, right. I'm curious, Robert. Is that a what's his name? I literally just looked this up. Wait 1 second. I'm forgetting it. Von Hillman. Is that not Von Hillman?
No. He told us before you got him.
CJ Anderson, sorry. CJ Anderson. Yeah. What's the backstory with the CJ Anderson jersey? I'm curious.
One day I had a big jersey scalping phase where I'd go on eBay and just look for cheap jerseys. I think I found this one for I think it was after tax and shipping 11 or something like that. I could probably look it up.
I've done that same exact thing. I have 30 jerseys in my closet.
Same.
I got this the day Mac Jones got traded. $20. So I was like, hell yeah.
Oh yeah. So another thing I wanted to add here. So Diego sent this in the group chat. We are now. Well, I have not signed the petition yet, but the petition has officially amassed 2,000 signatures. So yeah, congratulations to. I don't know. I'm not going to say congratulations because. I brought this up a couple days ago. It's going to be hard to, bring that to the attention of.
It's not going to. do any miracles, but
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have seen a huge surge of like media outlets and bloggers covering the Stallions and just
because it's off the success. They don't care about the local team. They're like, you don't move a 3-time champion. Okay, if you were doing the same damn job as this, if the Showboats were somehow pulling out your numbers, they probably wouldn't be talking shit about it. If the Showboat, to be fair, if the Showboats pull that out, Mike Smith would probably throw a parade for getting 3 wins in a year. But like, that's a different story. So
Yeah. So no, I think so. The petition, if you guys want to go ahead, well, I think Diego will probably put it up when we post this, but but just because it's been a very um, recent thing, and it's gotten a lot of press, but no, so but yeah, I uh, I definitely think so. I mean, what else do you guys have? That's kind of all I had in mind for tonight. We'll post this in a couple days. Um,
oh,
and but yeah, just transactions and general
Robert,
stuff.
what's up?
sorry, I forgot one more thing. They got rid of the conferences for next year,
Yeah,
which
yeah,
I thought was pretty sizable. All
yeah.
I'm going to say with that is realistically, no more stupid discussions about their stupid playoff format involving divisions. So we don't have Battlehawks fans complaining when they choke at home and then suddenly it's, oh, they should have let us in. The market's going to ruin the playoffs. No one's going to be there. No more whining. It's just straight up best 4 teams. And I don't have to hear Battlehawks fans anymore saying any shit. So I'll take it.
Yeah, and not even that. The UFL also has cleared house, so it's like
Yeah.
I think that a lot of those have just been involved
out.
just clearing out basically the teams they're planning on relocating
and then
just getting rid of them.
a new marketing team too, because marketing has not been good at all. They need a new marketing team.
I could ramble on and on about that, but I'm not gonna talk about it because it's just gonna get us nowhere.
It is gonna get somewhere, but the deal is like that's why they cleared houses to get a new marketing team and to fix like that. That was literally their biggest problem was just getting eyes on the league.
Yeah, I
That
think
was
I
literally
think the
problem.
XFL has had substantially better marketing
But
than maybe not
but
substantial, but a
the
little bit
XFL
better.
loses. The XFL also like isn't
They
properly managed.
had more buzz, I would say.
They did have more buzz, yes, but it wasn't really properly managed financially as a league, so it's kind of like.
You're right. Yeah, but we could
But
go on for.
they
for
did
a
have
lot of
eyes. They
these
did have
topics.
a lot of eyes, a lot of social media following.
Yeah. I think I think the name kind of just stood out to a lot of people, like when they started picking which spring team to follow, like having that code word, that keyword XFL in front of your name as opposed to USFL, kind of generated more interest. But
Yeah,
that's we can leave that up for another time. But
something like that.
that's all I had, guys. Thanks for joining thanks joining. I know we were kind of all over the place, kind of sorting things out, but I know next week we'll think of another episode time. I know we got to think of a time to get AJ on. Rob, thanks for joining. We'll keep in touch with you in the group chat. And there should be a lot of stuff going on in this league, especially with preseason. Right, we got 4 days now until the holiday. You were about to take that, weren't you? Go
Oh yeah,
ahead.
man! I'm so happy.
Something we
So
haven't
happy.
something we haven't touched up on is that the UFL college draft got pushed to September. So
Yeah.
Number 4.
look out for an episode for when
Labor
that
Day.
comes out.
I'm so excited for that.
Yeah, we could potentially like come out with like prospects. Roth probably has a lot. I know Vic has like already pieced together like a mock draft.
Oh, dude, I was called up. I know a couple guys who are like trying to reach out, and them actually get drafted. So I might
Really? Okay.
get something about that. Yeah, Clifton McDowell, quarterback out of the University of Montana. Clifton McDowell, bro. Clifton.
I watched him do an interview on an Instagram live, and he was. I'm not gonna go into detail because I'm not sure if you're gonna have him on later on, and suddenly they're gonna look back at this episode and be like, "Oh, you're such a dick." But it wasn't a great interview on both sides. So
He's such a nice guy, though.
As long as he's a good
he's
football
such
player,
he's
right?
such a nice person, bro.
I'll give you that, but like
he's genuinely a nice guy.
Yeah, I'm not denying that. I just meant like the way the interview was formatted. When I watched it on live,
Yeah.
it was pre-planned. It wasn't like one of those, "Hey, you want to just talk, guys." It was just weird. I think it was just more so the format and the way the guy was asking questions was he didn't really ask strong questions and
Yeah.
made it more like a Q&A that he was like moderating. But
Yeah,
I will admit he was a nice guy. So
very, very, very nice guy. I know. I think he might just play out his career as a QB3 in the UFL. Who knows? Who
But
knows?
yeah, okay.
when
Thank you guys so much.
The ashes of Holton Ayers just rise regardless.
Something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Bro, Holton Allard, bro. I swear, bro. Holton Allard, bro. So, bro, not even that. Do you think Alec Bowman is gonna get signed or drafted since he was like he already got
Alan Bowman.
signed?
You know what?
Like, do you think he's gonna get drafted after already playing in the UFL?
No. I think it's time for him to
Wasn't
go
he
on.
because if he was drafted last year, doesn't mean he's ineligible to return back to the draft? Because wasn't he selected by
Yeah, he
Michigan?
could.
No,
A
he was
little bit of
signed.
a
So
Shamar Stewart situation right there.
yeah, see the deal is it was like he was signed mid-season. He wasn't really drafted. He was signed.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like I don't know.
He's
Anyways,
also, what is he now? 27?
probably yeah. It's pretty old.
Yeah.
He's like
Okay.
Hear me out. The only thing that could save the Memphis Showboats from getting relocated is if Jason Bean, for whatever reason, in some weird scenario, decides to sign with Memphis.
he's in Houston right now. So I mean, like,
Is he?
yeah, he's quarterback. He's like on the like. He probably might end up on the active roster this year. Who knows?
Wasn't he in Indy?
He
was.
wasn't, yeah, but
Yeah.
he's in Houston now. Like now he's in Houston. He got cut and everything and signed to Houston. So I don't think
you know what?
that's a possibility.
Listen, because you still maintain the rights for what?
Still maintain the rights. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, so wait, how long is it?
But when they become the Tampa Bay Bandits, it's not gonna be an issue anymore.
Oh, well, you know what? No, if it's registered under the same franchise, they shouldn't have a problem, right?
I don't know.
You don't
Something
know?
like that. I don't know.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for joining. We'll talk more in the group chat, but that's all we're going to cover tonight. And then, as always, stay tuned for more UFL updates on both Diego's page, Raf's IFA page, IFA
Newsroom.
newsroom.
I
Okay.
think newsroom, yeah.
And then Robert, you'll be the first to send out the news, so we'll actually get it from you. But thank you guys so much for joining, and as always, have a great night. Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.